Okay, so let's get started. So thanks everyone for joining. Uh, today's session it's purely a Q&A session, and there is no agenda, but there is a hard stop at 10 o'clock. Just before we start, just a quick introduction. This is a part of the Canada IT Club, and we do Wednesdays initiatives. We have been having these sessions for years right now. For 2024, this is the seventh session, I believe. Yeah, this is the seventh session, and we are here just to share our experience and knowledge from whatever we have been hearing, whatever we know, those things. We are not representing our organizations, and this is a kind of disclaimer. We are not representing the organizations, or we are not saying that A or B is correct. We will just share some tips and tricks from our experience. And myself, Sudhir, and we have Sajid here. So today's session is purely focused on job search. So every week we have different sessions. Few weeks, I mean, last time it was technical, and before that we have, I mean, next week it's going to be taxation. But today's session is purely focused on the job search. We understand that a lot of people who are in Canada is having hard time getting the job, or when they're applying for the job, there is no response. So we are trying to help as much as possible. Uh, so it's a Q&A session. So in case you guys have questions, you can just raise your hand, come to the speaker panel, and start asking the questions. But before that, uh, one more thing is we don't deal with immigration. So one more prerequisite is that you should be authorized to work in Canada. Unfortunately, we don't have any option for or any immigration related questions we will not be answering. Okay, so anyone has any question, just raise a hand. I'll promote you as a speaker. And I am sure that a lot of people might be hesitant initially, but again, we are professionals. We try to answer as much as we know. Again, nothing right or wrong, but it will help you if you are searching for job in Canada. Only two prerequisites: you should be in Canada and you should be authorized to work in Canada. Okay, Sajit, anything to add, or else we can get started?
Let's get started.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Sheetal.
Hey Sudhir, hey Sajid, and hi everyone. Thanks once again. I think can't thank you enough for having these sessions for us. Without wasting a lot of time, I'm just going to go ahead and get right to my question. I know a lot of people talk about doing government jobs and applying for those roles. I reached out to you, Sudhir, asking about the same thing as well as to how to do it. It'll be great help if we can throw some light as to how and where do you find these job postings and what is the best way to apply for those.
Are you asking specifically about the government jobs?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, as a lot of you recently know that I just moved to the government.
Yes, and that's
company.
where my question actually came in. I thought maybe that'll be
Okay.
something that you would
Yeah.
be able to help us with.
Yeah. So I just joined there just one, I mean, couple of weeks back. So,
Congratulations are in order, so
yeah, thank
congrats.
you. Yeah. So okay. So again, in few places the luck will play the game, but okay. So I work as a contractor. I'm not a full timer. I usually prefer contracting, and I try to keep. I mean, I joined as a contractor in Health Canada. So moving in as a contractor and moving in as a full time is two different things. Okay, so contractor, if you are looking to move in as a contractor, you have to get in touch with the recruiting firms who places you specifically for the government jobs. Okay, and I have spoken to one of the recruiters, and he will be um, he might join for a session, maybe next week. Again, yet to set up. But if you are looking as a contractor, you literally will have to go through the consulting firms. They places you. There are few conditions which needs to be met. So most of the government jobs require reliability clearance, and people or the consulting firms prefer people with reliable clearance available as a first preferential candidates, because without that they cannot even submit the profile. So ideally it will take 5 years. So 5 years of historical checks and all these things happen. So if you are in Canada for the past 5 years, it should be a cakewalk. It will take hardly 1 month to get the federal clearance, but there are few jobs which requires next level security clearance or secret clearance or something like that. That is a totally different thing. That will also, like, I believe it is 10 years. I don't have it. So if that is the case, you have to be in Canada, you have to be citizen. There are few jobs which require Canadian citizenship. So there are some requisites for that. Now, getting into the full-time job, there are a lot of opportunities in the federal. If it's a federal, you have to go to, I think, jobs.canada.ca, something like that. That website is there. You just Google for Jobs Canada, and then you have to, again, just like the express entry, you have to search for the jobs and you have to apply for the jobs. Their selection process is a bit different. It is actually, they will collect all the profiles, and they will select based on a lot of criteria. It's not just like the other consulting firm. It will take time. So usually we have seen it takes around 5 to 8 months, the start to end. It will take 5 to 8 months of the process. Again, I might be wrong. It will change from person to person or department to department. So that is how it happens. Once we find a job, we apply, then they will call us when the opportunity or when all the resumes are collected. Now, on at the same time, you can also apply for all these municipalities and all these departments like Brampton, Toronto, Ottawa. So there are a lot of municipalities, Peel Police, then Peel Region. Then there is a lot of other things. You have to go through each of their career website. They have their jobs posted in there. You can actually apply it there, that their website. Again, the process is the same, but it is much slower than private companies. So there is no much difference in the process application, but the resume has to be different. The resume pages, we usually say 2 pages, but in when you try to apply for the government jobs, the resume has template, it's totally will change. So the resume has to be like more content. You have to add more content. So those kinds of differences are there, which we may cover in our next session.
Sounds good. So, I look forward to that session.
Sure, Shita.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else have any questions related to Canada job market and all? I believe a lot of people might be shy to ask the questions. Such maybe I'll start asking Sajid. Sajid, how is the candidate? I mean, requirement versus candidate ratio currently in the market?
You're asking how many people are applying?
Kind of, but see, last year, what happened is lesser candidates and more job opportunities, right? So
Yeah.
now, how is the market currently?
Compared to 2022, at least 12 to 15x.
Wow. Okay.
So if in 2022 you were doing a posting for even common skills and you were getting 200 applications, of that maybe 20 good profiles, that 200 is at least 12 to 15x is what it is currently. And this is not only for junior mid level, but even if I'm looking at cloud architect roles, this is what I'm seeing currently.
Okay, so we'll get back to you, but let's go with Malika. Malika, you have any questions? Okay, let's go with Sushitra.
Hi, Sudhir. So
Yeah,
sorry.
Malika. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Malika, and thank you for hosting this event. So I have two questions. So can you please advise, apart from LinkedIn and Indeed, is there any website where we should look to apply for a job? And my second question is, people always say you should do a networking, but to be honest, I'm not sure like how to start with a networking event, because I'm do sending a lot of email, a lot of messages on LinkedIn to a lot of people, but to be honest, very few people are replying to me, and that too their reply is very vague, like as you know, we cannot directly ask for a reference, but people are not really helping out. So like if you can suggest to me anything which can, boost our chances, it will be very grateful.
Very good question, Sajid. First
There is a
you, then
website
me.
called there is a very good website called networking. So that website, if you go and
Mhm.
if you immerse yourself in that website, you will get connection. LinkedIn is not sending applications on LinkedIn is not networking. Now, why would now here there is a common ground. Sudhir and I are talking about jobs. You are all want to know about jobs, and there's a common criteria. So there's something to discuss, right? Now, Malika, why would you? I don't know whom you're reaching out to. Are you reaching out to business analysts? Are you reaching out to recruiters? I don't know whom you're reaching out to, but why would people want to connect with you?
Okay, so I'm reaching out to recruiters as well as business analysts and project managers. So usually my starting email is like, sorry, my starting message is how are you? Like if they have posted anything about any article or something, I try to network with them. Like I try to ask them if I have any questions, but then it's just getting stopped. It's not getting anywhere.
Because everybody is doing that, right? The people don't have time either. You should have commented on them on their content so many times that they know, okay, Malika is an active listener or active consumer of my content, and I like her reviews about what I am talking about. If that comes to that comfort level, then there is, when you ask them for some information, there is a chance. Have you asked anybody for a cup of coffee to discuss? Let's say a senior business analyst or a project manager, have you asked them for a cup of coffee to meet and discuss about their projects?
I had one coffee with a product owner where he shared me like how was his journey in Canada. Like he just told me like you should apply, and then it just need you just need 1 years from a company, and from there you will be good to go. And another I had a with a Deloitte recruiter. She also again told me like networking is very important, and you should change your resume for each and every job. Make sure it is aligned to the job description. So that's what usually the feedback I'm getting from the people.
That is the right
So
advice. You just need to continue the same.
yeah, but before that, Sajid, let me answer her first question. Sorry for changing the topic because since there are a lot of people, I wanted to let everyone know how do we search jobs in Canada. So I did a poll. I did just a voting a few years back. I mean, few months back, and I found figured out that 46% of the people said that I got the last job through LinkedIn. 27% of the people who said that I got the job through referral. So it's almost 75%. It's like 3 by 4th of the jobs went through LinkedIn and referral. The remaining 25 percentage also, it's also very valuable, right? So I'll tell you what are the priorities or how do I search jobs. So first is network. Reach out to my network, ask for opportunities. And network doesn't mean that buzzing stranger and asking for opportunity. Network means we have personal rapport with all these folks and we just call them. We'll say that, okay boss, I'm searching for the job, do you have anything? That is called networking. Second I go is LinkedIn. I try to be active in LinkedIn. I'm not in any other social medias except LinkedIn because LinkedIn is where Canada market is all about. Like everyone in Canada is focused on LinkedIn. Third one is consulting firms. There are numerous consulting firms here. More than 50 consulting firms are here available, which are small to big, and they actually have a lot of job opportunities from these clients. They try to place the best candidate, whatever they have, to these opportunities. So that is third one is a consulting firm. Fourth one is the job boards like Indeed, Monster, everything. Fifth one is their career website. Each of these companies' career website. A lot of people focus on the big organizations like banks or consulting firms. That's all they know. But what happens is there are a lot of small companies, right? 30 people, 50 people, 100 people. They may not have the budget or they may not have the ability to post it in Indeed and Monster. They might be just posting it in their career website, and a lot of people doesn't know that. So maybe there will be only three or four applications in those jobs, in their site, and they actually get hired very fast. The hiring process might be very simple. So these are few of the processes or few of the techniques with which you can actually search for a job. And when I say consulting firm, a lot of consulting firms and recruiters actually started posting jobs directly in the LinkedIn as a post, not the LinkedIn jobs, directly as a post. So you have to follow these recruiters in the LinkedIn, and that will actually help you get their jobs posting and everything in your feed. Okay, so this is the first question. Now, second question, Sajit answered it, but Sajit wanted to add something, but I just wanted to add one more thing in there. Lot of candidates, more than 50 to 70 percentage of the candidate, they just bust a stranger and they will say that, hi, I'm looking for a job, here is my resume, please let me know you if your organization have this job or not. Please do not do this. This is considered offensive here, because none of the person right on the other side of this chat is going to take your resume, check your skill set, and going to go to his company website and search for a job. No, that never happens here. Do not send a resume to a stranger and ask him to refer or ask him to search for a job, because that will not work, because he doesn't get anything from this, right? So he is not going to do it, right? Second thing is, a lot of people buzz strangers and ask, do you have a job for me? I'm telling you very frankly, I'm a very patient guy trying to respond to all the messages which comes in. Yes, I get a lot of messages, I miss it, but there are some messages, do you have a job for me? If I say no, that is it, I will save rest of my time. So best part is, everyone, the my friends whom I spoke to, they will just say no. Okay, because there is no introduction, there is no basic courtesy of sending a message. Please do not do it. When you write a message, it is very clear, it has to be, you have to introduce yourself. You might know the other person on other person, but that person might not know you. So please write a intro that I am so and so, I am here in Canada, and I am looking for so and so, something like this. And in the first chat, please do not ask for job. That might not work out, because a lot of people will not have jobs in their hand. But when you have that rapport with that particular person, right, the next time there is a job opportunity in his team, he may reach out to you. For that, you have to keep up that positive relationship. A lot of people, what they do the mistake is, they'll just ask, do you have a job? No, thank you, that's it. And they don't keep the bridge open. That is one of the things which I have seen. So next time when they have the opportunity, right, they will be like, okay, I don't have anyone to refer. So don't do that. Always keep up the bridge open. And when you try to reach out to, I mean, Sajid can explain that better, but when you try to reach out to someone for the first time, there are few things which you can ask. Do not ask for job, do not ask for referral. That might not work out, because when this person is referring the other person, he's actually putting his reputation at risk, right? He's if you have put a fake experience, or if you are not in the country, all these things actually affect the other person. A lot of people have got that uh, bad experience in the past. That is the reason why a lot of people hesitate to uh, help you. Okay, but try to keep up the bridge, try to build that relationship, keep the bridge open. It will actually help you, even in the shorter run and in the long run. Sajit, if you want to add something.
Yeah, and this is also not only for your first job, right? One of the things that you must understand is, especially in the tech industry in Canada, it's a very small group of people and very small network, right? It's not a very vast network. So you have to understand that, of course, if you have an issue with the current company, a current boss, or all those things, it's fine. You need to move out. But why, what Sudhir mentioned about not burning bridges, why is it important? This is for agencies also, right? First thing is, one of the biggest mistake that most people do is they connect only with recruiters, right? Recruiters are not decision makers, recruiters are the gatekeepers. They, of course, they can decide whether to push your profile to the hiring managers or not, but they are the people who are going to make the first rejection. For that, your profile must match the role, that is understood. But there is also another method where you can directly reach out to hiring managers and impress them, and they will say that, hey, I found this great candidate for the role that we're looking at, can you have a look at it, right? And that is why what Sudhi said in terms of referrals, why it is very important that when it comes through a referral, the recruiter will definitely go through that candidate profile and will inform the person who is referring whether it's suitable or not. Even if it is not suitable, they will give that response saying that this person is not suitable, right? Whereas in a direct application on LinkedIn or on a website, there's a high chance that the recruiter might not see your profile at all. Just give you a simple example. Let's say there are 200 applications. No recruiter will go through the 200 applications, then filter it to the best 50, then filter it to best 20, and then speak to those 20, and then give the hiring manager 10. That's not how it works. Let's say there are 200 applications. The recruiter will go through 20 or 30 profiles, will pick up 4 or 5 best from that lot, share it with the hiring manager. The candidates who get shortlisted will start the interview process. If the hiring manager likes those 4 5 candidates, that role is closed. If not, then it goes to the next batch of candidates. So this is how it typically works in Canada. So one, you need to be early in applying. You need to send it through a referral that has a higher chance, and also your profile should match the role. Now that is one another thing that I'm seeing is people are applying. I understand that challenges not having a proper job in Canada can be very daunting, but it is not going to help you if you are trying to apply through a referral for a role that does not match. Now let's say you are completely into testing, and then you have some kind of coding, and you can do a little bit of backend coding, right? Trying to push your profile for a full stack developer role will not help you. So as simple as that, right? So that is something that you need to know what are the roles that are available. If not, then what to do is, if you're asking me, if they are not getting roles matching your skill set, you need to upskill. There's no other option but upskill. Upskill, I'm saying, is practical experience, not any course, paid course, but practical experience is what you need. Just my thoughts.
Thank you, Sujit. Malika,
Thank
did
you,
you answer?
Sujit, and thank you so much, Sujit. Sujit, I just want to ask one more question. As you said, there are very small companies which does not post it on Indeed but if I want to search the small companies or the mid companies in Canada,
Mhm.
can you provide me some reference or maybe some like how I can search those companies over here?
See, that is a, I think it's Googling, right? I mean, Google will give you all those information, right? So a lot of people, what happens is, imagine what I'm doing is just keep on scrolling the feed in LinkedIn. I'm just giving an example, right? We are not finding new information, but at the same time, you can use different criteria to search for the companies. For example, companies in Ottawa, or companies in Mississauga, companies, IT companies in Brampton, or something like that. What happens is, this will actually help you figure it out. It takes time. It's not like just set the just hit the Google and Google will automatically give you the result. So a lot of people, when they try to chat in LinkedIn, they think that we are chatbots. Okay, they are like, give me 10 companies where I can apply. That is I'm telling you seriously, one guy pinged me, and this was his first chat. Give me 10 companies where I can apply. I'm a full stack developer. Okay, so we are not chatbots or anything, or chat GPT or anything. We are also humans. So I am not working for him. Another guy pinged me, give me 10 consulting companies in UK. I said, boss, do your research, right? So you
Okay.
can do your research. It's called a research. So this is one of the patterns which we usually recommend. We recommend 7 patterns to job search, to boost your job search. Okay, get hired in 60 days or boosting your job search. There are 7 patterns, and one pattern is research. Research the market, research the skill set required for your job, and research the companies which is going to hire you. If you are a Tableau developer and you are trying to apply for a company which is using Power BI, there is less chance you might get hired, right? So you have to apply for a company which is using Tableau as their data visualization tool. So a lot of people doesn't know this. So they are not doing the research on which company is using what tools, which company is using what technologies. So this is causing much issues when they are trying to apply for the job, and that is where this mismatch thing happens. So you Google it and share the information and get the information, right? You are in a lot of WhatsApp groups and all. See, me and Sajid manages three WhatsApp groups called Get Hired in Canada, where there is 3,000 people, job search, job seekers, people with the jobs. But a lot of people doesn't post information. Everyone is in the group just gathering information. So the moment you start posting it, then other people also will start posting it, and by that way you can actually get information, right? That's how that's my strategy. Give information, gather information.
And the other thing is people whom you network, right? If you are looking at the same field, now let's say you're reaching out to business analyst and this or senior business analyst or project managers, rather than asking for a job, you can ask how did they find their job or what was their search strategy? How did they research out? I'll give you a simple example. One, you most of the people might be looking at the top 5 or top 10 banks. There
Sajid, you went on mute.
So there are more than 50 credit union banks in Ontario alone. So credit union banks will not have 50, 100 job openings. For a BA, they might have in a year maybe two or three. But the thing is, you will never find that posting on LinkedIn because they will not use it. If they need someone urgent, they might put a posting on Indeed or Monster. Otherwise, the first method is use internal referral. First it goes to internal employees if they have any referral. If they don't have it, then they put it on the website. If they're not getting it on the website, like so they said, now everybody's putting on the LinkedIn wall. So unless you are connected with that recruiter or the hiring manager, you'll not see the post. And then only if they are not able to get it or they have enough budget, they might put it as a LinkedIn post. By the time, most probably they will have already couple of candidates in the pipeline. So you're you need to find what are the target companies, prepare a list of those target companies, and when you're preparing that list, like so they said, how important or how good your research is, that is what is going to help you.
Got it. Thank you so much,
Thank
Sudhir.
you.
Thank you so much, Sajid. Thank you so much.
No worries. Yeah, let's move on to Sushitra.
Yeah, hi Sudhir and hi Sajid and hi everyone. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to ask the question. But I wanted to ask the same question as Malika because I recently moved to Canada and I just wanted to know like where to apply, how to apply. So I think I got the answer and yeah,
Enjoy the winter. This is a great winter. You just landed. Enjoy the winter. Let go of a lot of stress for the travel and all the things. Settle in, but do your research. Please be part of a lot of these events that is there. You'll get a lot of insights because we bring in a lot of experts specific to those are industry experts who have good knowledge and who share a lot of tips and tricks. So be part of those programs. Uh, and if your question is answered, I would say it's important to build your own strategy, right? The what you need to do is you need to build, plan and act immediately so that every mistake that you make is a learning curve, and then you're able, it's like agile methodology, right? Since you
yeah,
put agile as the first word, the
yeah,
more mistakes that you make, the faster you make them is when you improve the process.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Like
Yeah.
it comes with the experience, and I think it's going to be a good experience for me, even the searching process. Yeah. Thanks, Sajid. Thanks for answering.
No
And
worries,
yeah,
Sushitra.
thanks, Sudhir.
Yeah, let's move on to Shiva. Hey, Shiva. Ashwini.
Hi there. Good evening, everyone. So this is Ashwani. Basically, I just completed my master's from Carlton, and before that, I was working with Accenture for almost 10 years as a QA lead, and then as a business analyst. I think my question is slightly on the line where everybody asked about the job search and everything. I just wanted to ask that when everybody is making similar kind of changes and applying with changes, uh, like how as a recruiter. when they are swarmed with thousands of resumes, they prioritize, like, what is the one key thing that you would advise anyone, like, like when we should apply, how soon we should apply, and how important it is to basically go through all of the responsibilities and have a match, like, when we say match, like, at what percentage are we looking at, like, it should be above 80% match or 90% match, or like what exactly are we looking at when we look at the resumes?
70 percentage above job scan is good. If you're using job scan, a 70 percentage above job scan is, it gives an 80 score. So 70 percentage above is good, right? How, and there is no right answer for that, right? It depends upon the role. Now, the challenges that I see is, one thing in your profile is, I see that you put QA and functional BA positions. Those are two separate, very specific roles in Canada. The moment you put two titles in a LinkedIn profile, you confuse the recruiter. How does a recruiter work? Recruiter gets, puts a posting, gets hundreds of applications. They start from the first applicant who comes. Okay, does it first, it's called the heat score, right? If when you have a web page, you can find that to where the consumers or the customers look at what are the heat maps that you have. Similarly, in the resume also there are heat maps. They look at location, they look at your past experience, they look at qualification, they look at your skill set, projects, current projects, what is relevant, is it relevant to the job role? If it is relevant, then they go through the whole resume, and then they decide whether to make a call to find out whether what you have put in the resume matches with what skill set you actually have, right? Experienced people within 10-15 minutes will be able to realize whether what is there in the resume or and what you're actually talking about makes sense or not. They might move on if it doesn't match. This is typically what happens, right? Like I mentioned previously, in Canada, what happens is we don't look at all the applications, 100, 200,000 applications at one go. And in Canada, one big challenge is, let's say the hiring manager finds four good resumes, he is not going to scan the entire Ontario market before he makes a decision. Four interviews, five interviews, he liked a candidate, he said, okay, let's go ahead and do it. 2022, it was completely different. 2022, there was a huge shortage. One interview, second interview, they would say that, okay, we might lose this candidate, let's block him, get him on board. That was how it was happening. Now that has changed. So typically, positions close in 42 days. In Canada, it has extended to 60 to 65 days now because they are spoiled with choice. But I would say no hiring managers go beyond eight profiles or eight interviews for a role.
I see. Okay. All right. And do you think the reason for getting the application for, let's say, X number of applications for a particular role is because of the influx of immigration and the layoffs?
Layoffs is less in Canada when you compare to US. The number of companies that are laid off is very less. The number of opportunities is doesn't. I think 20 whole of 2023 and first month of 2024 would not match the first 6 months of 2022. So the number of opportunities are less. So number is less and more influx. So the talent pool is the supply is more at the moment for every role. I'm talking about data scientist, all the niche roles that were there in 2022. There's no tech niche role at the moment.
Got it. And do you foresee any, like, soon, when the demand and supply could at least logically match each other, like,
If I could answer that question, Ashwini, I would be sitting at a $1 billion bank account right now if I could answer that question.
Yeah, nobody can foresee Ashwini because all the predictions have been tossed in the recent past. So,
I see.
yeah,
Thank you so much
thank you.
for answering,
Yeah.
Sudhir and Sajid.
1 second, I can add one more thing. It's like, see, you asked about the influx of immigrants or influx of candidates, right? So what happened is, after the post COVID, when the immigration restarted, whoever is coming in the student visa, they are actually eligible to work for that 40 hours thing. And the spouse who is accompanying that person will get the open work permit, so that person is also eligible to work. So if there are 400,000 students coming in 1 year, actually it is almost like 600,000, because a lot of people will carry spouses also. So all the people try to use that thing, and there was a huge influx of open work permit candidates in the market. And second thing is the budget. All the companies revisited the budget in the last year 2023. By mid, all the companies revisited the budget because of this interest rate hikes and everything. And there was a drastic cut in the budgets for the FY24. And actually we are seeing that impact right now. There's a lot of uh, positions which has been cancelled, projects got cancelled. All these things are happening right now, as the start of the FY24. Okay, so let's move on to Nilesh. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Hey, Nilesh.
Hey guys, hi Sudhir, hi Sajid. Uh, my query was most in regards to like now one of the point that you were addressing, that you have multiple roles in your profile, that confuses the recruiter. But my question is like, person with an experience of like 15 plus years, he will definitely have multiple roles in his bucket.
Yeah, so maybe I'll
So
take it. I'll take it, Sajid. So, so what happens? I'll tell you. So a lot of people imagine that person is a QA engineer back in India, and that person came here, and he or she studied the data analyst course. Now what happens is the profile automatically gets changed to QA slash Power BI slash Tableau slash R slash data analysis slash everything slash, and the person starts applying for all the roles, QA roles, data analysis roles. Now when this person is getting selected or picked, his or her resume gets picked for a data analysis role, when we check it, the past experience is for full QA, right? And all the studies is in like data analysis. So now what happens is this hiring manager is not able to understand whether this person is actually a QA or a data analyst. So when you try to interview, or when I try to evaluate that candidate, when you call that candidate for the first time, this person will say that my past experience is in QA, but I know data analysis. This person is trying to sell, but the recruiter will definitely go for a person who has data analysis experience, or who tries to showcase only data analysis, because it gets very confusing, especially in the resume, when you are not there to explain why this difference is. Trust me when I say this, a lot of people add everything in their resume, which is wanted, which is all unwanted, and this actually confuses people. I went back in 2018. I applied for 4 months. I got zero interview calls. Then I got a mentor. He made me remove 65% of my content in the resume. It was a 4-page resume. He cut short it into 1.5 page. Within few days, I got 18 interview calls. Also 13 interview calls. Within 18 days, I got 13 interview calls, because the resume should be very focused on what role you are trying to apply. Yes, I also had 15 years of experience. I also had a lot of things in the bucket. But what we do is we try to showcase one primary skill, and we'll say that I have the additional skill as my like flank. Okay, so I myself showcase as agile consultant, but with great data analysis knowledge. Agile consultant with great automation experience. Agile consultant with process engineering. Agile consultant with Tableau experience. Wherever I go, I show that okay, I am agile consultant. Agile is my primary thing, but I have possessed great automation skills, or great Power BI skills, great data analysis skills. That is how you have to showcase. But at the same time, if I say that QA manager slash CSM, chances of getting rejected is very high, because a lot of people have this misunderstanding that I have a CSM certification, I am a Scrum Master. So even the QA lead, QA manager, data analysis developer, everyone is trying to put data analysis slash Scrum Master, and at that same time recruiters might not go for that.
Okay, why? Thanks for the info. The thing why I asked this question was like I myself have worked into multiple genres in the industry. So I worked as a Scrum Master. I worked as a project manager. I worked as a data analytics lead. I have worked as a business analytic leads. I have worked as like what do I say?
Yeah, I
A data
understand. Go ahead,
scientist.
go ahead. Yeah.
So I mean, like I worked in all this genre, but I like. Uh, if I put all this detail in my resume, stating what all projects I have worked on, my frankly speaking, my resume would be around 7 to 8 pages.
Yeah, nobody needs that, buddy. You just,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So,
So
so
yeah, I understand
similarly,
your question. I
as
understand your
you
question.
told, that is one of your mentor. He told you to reduce out like 60% of your resume and all. Similarly, I had a friend of mine who has helped me out, and we have reduced my resume to 2 page. But then that 2 page does not give the entire glimpse of work what I have done, or it will not portray. If I'm mentioning that I have a CSM certificate, I have a safe agile POPM certificate. I have a PMP certificate.
Nilesh, I
Yeah.
understand. I understand. So see, we are not questioning whether you had done it or not.
No, no,
Okay, here
I
people
got
are
your
okay.
point.
Let me answer,
But how
please.
do I
Sorry,
portray that? My question was on that. How do I portray that?
you have to let me answer. Okay,
Sure.
so yeah, so here a lot of people only check for the past experience, right? Past 1 or 2 years of experience, or max of past 5 years of experience. So I have what, 18 years of experience. So in my profile or in my resume, I'll just show past 6 years of experience, and then I'll say that my prior experience from 2006 to 2019, and then I'll just write one sentence or put my link to the LinkedIn. Okay, I have all those things in my LinkedIn, but here in my resume I just show a couple of pages with what I have done in the past 3 4 5 years. Okay, that is the simplest way to do it. You can put a LinkedIn URL in your resume and ask them to refer LinkedIn. In LinkedIn you can mention everything. There is a what, 50 skills is there. I think Sajid, it got increased to 250, I believe, that skills, right? And
So,
even you can add the experience there, you can add your certifications in there, you can add your achievements in there, you can add your white papers, articles. Everything is in LinkedIn, right? And Canada, everyone uses LinkedIn, so you can use it. But in your resume, you just, if you are applying for CSM, you don't have to say that I was a business intelligence developer, I was a project manager. You can say that, yeah, I am a scrum master with a PM experience, but you don't have to mention that I am a data analyst or you are a Power BI, so whatever it is, business intelligence thing. So keep your resume short as a scrum master in 2 pages. That should get you the seat at the interview. It's very simple. Do not try to confuse the recruiter, because you are not there to explain to them what is happening. And from the recruiter's point, when they submit this profile, right, they will definitely call you and ask for career gap in case you have. It is not because it is a negative side of it. Okay, they have to explain it to the hiring manager what this candidate did from 2021 to 2022. Okay,
Got your
they
point.
they are answerable for the hiring manager's thing. So keep your resume short, and when the recruiter calls you, just tell them that, okay, this is the thing, this is the thing, I took a break from my career during this time. That's it. It is not a negative thing. In Canada, people get job even with career break, especially a lot of contractors, including me. We all have career gaps. It's not at all a problem.
Got it, Sudhir. Thanks a lot. Sudhir, would you mind if I try to connect you on a personal ground for some other queries? Like, I know I don't want to waste other people's time over here.
Sure. Mhm.
So I'll send.
Yeah, you can message me.
Sure, I'll send you a request,
I'll try to
and
respond.
probably we can
Sure.
connect. Thank you.
Sounds good. Yeah. Let's move on to Shabista. Did I pronounce it correct?
Yes, Sudhir. Hi,
Hey.
Sajid and Sudhir. Thank you. So, I don't have a lot of experience. I just have experience as a software developer back in India, and currently I've been looking for data analyst job roles. But a few of my connections have been telling me to um, start looking for some other roles alongside, such as IT technician or help desk support or something along those names, right? So I wanted to take your opinion on that. Like, does that seem like a good option?
Sajid, you want to take it?
You're currently working at Walmart, right?
Yeah.
That experience is fine. It's just to show that you understand how the Canadian business works, and that's all that you need. So that is taking up an IT or a non-related role is just to show that you have understanding of the Canadian business. You put that in your resume. That's only for the first job. Also, once you get into a data analyst role, then you can remove that experience and keep only your relevant data analyst experience alone. Right now, the challenge that you might have is once have you tried data analyst role in Walmart?
Yes, there was just one opening till now in
Yeah.
which I fit
So
the criteria.
you match the criteria.
Only in that one, but then I got rejected from that.
Yeah. So you will find that data analyst roles, mostly any role that they look at, they'll say that they need at least 2 years of experience, relevant
Mm-hmm.
experience here. Right. That is a minimum that they specify. So then it is a chicken and egg story. Where do you get this experience? So you need to look at startups. You need to look at places where they are so when you're applying for data analyst role, right, that might be a challenge. When you look at Walmart, banks and all those things, you need to apply for new grad roles.
Yeah.
In new grad roles, what do they do is they take you as a grad, for it could be for full stack, backend, or whatever, based on your interest and what is your skill set. They put you in that specific project. So if they take you as a new grad role in a bank and they say that you have a lot of data analyst experience, they'll put you into data analyst roles for that. If you
Okay.
apply for data analyst roles, minimum the requirement is 2 years experience is what they look at.
Okay, so we can apply for generalized new
Yes.
grad roles.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll just add to what Sajid said, okay? Because this is a data analysis, again, my area of expertise, so I'll add some more tips. So, one of the patterns out of the 7 patterns which I talked about, one of the patterns is showcasing your skills, right? Hiding your skills is not going to help you out. Showcase your skills. And for data analyst, the best way to showcase their skill is by building a public dashboard in Tableau or Power BI. It is
Mm-hmm.
free. It is free. Tableau and Power BI for education purpose, or when you are trying to build the dashboard, it is actually free. So you can actually build a wonderful, impressive dashboard, and you can just put it in your resume. That will boost your chances, because there is a lot of candidates, more than 1,000 candidates every year. They pass out from this data analysis course. They have all these 4 skill set in their resume: Tableau, Power BI, R, and Python. Okay, they may know or may not know. I'm not questioning about that, but this is very most common skill set which I have seen in all the data analysts. And unfortunately, they have basic knowledge about all these 4. They have not put effort to learn these things. And when you try to apply for a data analyst job here, they would need someone who knows these things, because once you get into the job and studying, the companies doesn't support it, because they already have other data analysts available to apply for that particular job. So what you can actually do is, you can build a dashboard, and then you can say that, see, this is the dashboard which I have built, and this dashboard will actually showcase my skill set, the types of graphs I've made, the dashboards which I've made. And data, you can get hundreds of data currently in the Canada website. So take some data, build some dashboard, put it in your resume, put it in your LinkedIn. That's the best way for data analysts to get a job. If it is a business analyst, I would say learn domain, write articles about domain, write content about domains, because there is a lack of business analyst who is very good at domain. Everyone knows how to write requirements in Jira and Confluence, but that's not enough. You need actually the domain skills. So learn domain for business analyst. Developers, technical skills, QA, automation, and the latest technology. Manual testing, I would say it is out of date right now. Again, that's not up for a debate. Most of the companies who are hiring, they need this candidate to have some technical skills so that they can write automation code in future. API automation, mobile automation, and those things. We had invited one QA leader from TD, and that recording is available in the YouTube in case you want to watch it. So there he has explained that what are the things which QA folks need. But for data analyst, it is very simple. Write some code in Python, then build some dashboards in Power BI or Tableau. That's it. You will be like top 10 percentage of the people uh, applicants, because 90 percentage of the people doesn't do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Shabista. So let's move on to Punit.
Hey, hello, Sudhir. Hello, Sajid. So I relocated to Canada 1 month ago. So I come with 8 years of experience in banking domain. So I started to get calls from recruiter every day. I get one or two calls, but it is not moving to technical rounds. And I just checked with the recruiter also, is my profile well matched. They do mention that it is well matched with what they expect, but it is not moving to technical round. I have not attended any interview yet in Canada. So what might be reason for that?
So you want to take it, or
As a recruiter, are the recruiters asking you what is your work visa status?
Yes. Mine is like open work visa.
Yeah.
They're asking that, and they're asking, are you able to relocate anywhere in Canada? I said I'm okay with anything. So it is not moving to next round actually. Basically, today also I got 1 2 3.
Why do you want to highlight your visa status?
Okay.
Why do you want to highlight your visa status on LinkedIn?
Okay. Shouldn't we?
Should you?
nope?
Okay.
Why should you? Now it's simple as this. Punit, I'll give you an example. If I in my resume, if I put that I know Telugu, I know Tamil, I know Malayalam, is that information of any value for any hiring manager in Canada?
Got your point.
Yeah, that's it.
But why it is not moving forward? I didn't get
Yeah.
answer for that.
So maybe I'll explain the process. Sajid, shall I explain the process?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So what happens is, imagine there is a client which is a bank. Punit, can you please go on mute? That I'm getting the echo. Okay.
Sure.
So yeah. So there's a client, let's say RBC or Scotia or any of these big clients. What they will have is they have an opportunity. What they will do is if it's a full time, there is a high chance that they will post it in their career website. But if it's most of the times it's contracting and sometimes full time, what they do is they publish it to the vendors. Vendors means consulting firms. Okay, like a lot of consulting firms are here. I'm not going to name it anything, but there is a lot of consulting firms. So each of these consulting firms get to submit either one or two resumes, sometimes three. Okay, so if it has been opened for five consulting firms, what they do is they will submit 10 different resumes to the client. So the client, the end client gets 10 resumes, which is his goal. Now, from the vendor's perspective, let's say I'm a consulting firm and I'm a recruiter in the consulting firm. I have to submit two resumes. What I do is I try to search it in LinkedIn, I try to search it in my database, and I try to search it in multiple places, and I'll try to collect as much resumes as possible. Then I'll speak to everyone, maybe five or six guys. I'll speak to everyone. I make a note of it. Then I will select the best two. Then I will submit. So you see, there is a three levels of rejection you can happen. First, at the recruiter level, then recruiter submits it to his boss, which is account, which is called as an account manager. Account manager might reject it. Then it goes to the client, and client may reject it. So there is a three levels of rejection which is happening. But at the same time, when you are going through the referral, you are skipping all these three levels of rejections, and you are directly putting the resume in front of the hiring manager, and we can ensure that the hiring manager will take a look into that resume, because it's coming through a referral. So now in your case, what it might be happening is you are submitting it to the recruiter consulting firm. The recruiter might be calling you and getting the details, and when they try, they will compare with other candidates, they may have a better candidate at place. That might be one of the reason. Second thing is, they might be submitting and the hiring manager, it's actually putting it on hold. Because right now what we are seeing, it's very common. What is happening right now is, we are not getting the final approval to hire. Not we in the sense, in general, I'm not talking about a particular client. They are not getting the final approval to hire. Lot of positions have been put on hold. Okay, even after the interview today, somebody buzzed me. He said that I have been waiting for 1 month, and I'm not getting any response from the hiring manager. Recruiters saying that the position is actually on hold, and unfortunately that is happening. The Before hiring, there is a second level of approval which is required, and a lot of hiring managers are not getting that approval. So that is one of the reasons why it might be going on hold. But if you are technically good, if your resume is good, if you are getting calls, I wouldn't feel bad for you, because your chances are very good. Okay, a lot of people are having hard time even getting calls. Okay, so I think you should be good. You just keep on applying, and something will work out. And whoever is listening, right, getting first job in Canada is the toughest thing. Okay, that's the one and the only barrier which you have to uh, pass, and after that things will settle. Things should be good, even from your professional perspective, your personal perspective, your financial perspective. Everything should settle down the moment you get the job. Getting the first job is the biggest hurdle, uh, which I have seen in Canada. But once you get the first job, yes, then it totally depends upon your skill set, about negotiations, your networking, all these things are there. So just hang tight until you get the first job, and you should be good from there. Did I answer that, Puneet?
Yeah. So that, and one more thing, applying career website will make any sense, so that
Yeah,
directly.
for full time.
Yeah.
Full time, yes, full time jobs mostly get posted in career website, and also that gets posted in Indeed and all. But yes, as I said, if you target small companies, the number of applicants are less. But if you target the bigger companies, for example, a scrum master opportunity in one of the big five banks, there will be at least 100 to 200 plus applicants. Do not go with LinkedIn numbers, because that is just a rough figure. Even if you just click on apply button, the counter will actually increase. Okay, so it's not like 160 applicants are there. I have heard from recruiters that more than 50 percentage of the applications doesn't match the requirements. Either they are not in the location, they might be outside Canada, they are not authorized to work, they don't match the skill set. So more than 50 percentage of the applicants are ineligible for that particular opportunity. So don't get scared about by seeing those numbers. It's just a LinkedIn formula. They changed it, algorithm, they changed it pretty often to show that, okay, like boost their jobs module. That's it. So I wouldn't bother about it.
Got it. Thanks for that. Thanks.
Bhuvanesh, let's move to Kinjal.
Hi Sudhir, hi Sajid. Thank you for this event. My name is Kinjal. Hi everyone. So my question was, I recently had an unexpected experience with my past employer. So I had an health issue during my work, and that actually required like some time off from work, and that time it was like a high workload in my company. So my employer decided to finish the contract. So I lost my job due to my health issue, and then I took some time off to recover. And then once I got recovered, I started back on researching for new role. But it has been a while that I just got, like, I've been applying so many positions as a QA engineer, but and I have 4 years of experience, but I hardly get like one, two or three interview calls so far. So my question was, what should be my approach if I get a good interview in near future? regarding this gap, or regarding my health issues? Should I portray it like honestly that, see, I had this health issue and that is why I lost my job, or should be any better way to portray it, or how should I just
I
like?
don't think that's
Yeah.
an issue. It's just contract in between contracts, right? It's not a big deal.
Mhm.
My biggest
Okay.
worry is after getting two interviews, you should have been able to close it, right? Two interviews, if you're getting, based on your experience here, you should have closed it with those two interviews, right? So it's not about the gap or reason. If they ask you what the reason is, you can specifically say what the reasons for leaving that organization. That's not an issue. Reasons for health issues is not something a concern in your career. But did you try to evaluate why you did not get those two roles?
So I didn't move further from the first round, and two of them I didn't hear back after. So I was not really sure why it didn't move forward. But yes, and for other applications I've been just getting the rejection mails every day in my email. Yeah. So I'm really not able to figure out like what is causing the issue. I have like I've been keep updating my resume, my LinkedIn profile every time, like by time to time, but still I'm not able to find out what would be the issue. Or is it like because my previous role was only 6 months when I finished, so I was afraid that that is actually causing the issue, like
Not a concern.
the
Not a
impression.
concern. Short duration contracts last for 3 months, 6 months. Not a concern at all. Those are
Yep.
not at all any. So for everybody in this group, gap. If you are a new immigrant, not a new immigrant, if you have taken a break, you just need to validate why or for what reason you have taken a break. You could take a break, sabbatical break. You could take a break to look after someone. You could take a break to travel. It is immaterial. Breaks are not. The only concern is, let's say you have 2 years, 3 years gap, then what are the technology advancements that has happened in your sphere and have you kept up with it? That is the only concern that you need to have. A 2 month, 6 month, 5 months gap due to personal reasons or not personal reasons also is not an issue for you getting rejected. It is only that your confidence level might have gone down from the way that you're speaking right now. I would say do a couple of mocks, so the next interview that happens you will be able to do well. Get in touch with some senior QA automation engineers. Do one or two mock interviews. I think you will get back your confidence, Kinja.
Sure, Sujit. Thank you for the answer.
Thank you, Vijay. Let's move on to Sharath. Sharath, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good evening. Thanks Sudhir and thanks Ajit for organizing this event. I'm new to Canada. I just landed 2 months back. I hail from a human resource background. So what I understood so far is that the people who are in this call, I'm pretty sure that we all are here, accepting the changes. We all are resilient enough, to accept new roles and responsibilities that comes our way. So, despite being the fact that everyone preferred to stay in their own domain of expertise, here being immigrants, we are open for new challenges and the new roles. That's what I understood after interacting with a lot of people. So, my question is around uh, the way to identify certain domains that has a promising future in Canada. Because, as I as I said before, we are all open to changes. So, anything or any forum or any resource that can help us identify promising domains in the future.
That is again a billion-dollar question. There's no promising domain as such. But there are a lot of skill set, transferable skills that you might have, Sharath, which you can apply for any kind of role, right? That is what you need to understand.
Yeah.
What role can you use your transferable skills so that whatever experience that you have gained, right? Now, this is one of the reasons when I always say that if you don't have any Canadian experience, get any experience which is a client-facing role where you can say that, hey, I've interacted with a lot of clients. I know how the Canadian business works. I know how to interact with the Canadian client. I can get deals, or because even a technical role, right? It's a client facing role. You have to gather the requirements. You're talking to internal and external stakeholders. Your internal and external stakeholders can be from any person from this world, right? Because it's a very diverse culture that we have in Canada. So you just need to showcase certain key skills that are required, transferable skills, right? So you could use all your transferable skills and apply it to any new role that you. the challenge is you don't how do I say it, you don't explore that avenue. If you ask me, is there any one particular forum for that, I don't know. I would suggest you do a little research as to what is your area of interest rather than expertise. What do you like to get into, rather than looking at what is the role that has a future. Because the duration of every role, the challenges now, a recruiter role in 2022 was very hot. Right now it is not so much. So that cycle has reduced to 2 to 3 years. Roles keep changing. So they can correct me if that is the same in the tech industry also, where the roles what we see, if you are an agile coach, you can never say that the demand for agile coach in the next 5 years will be the same as it is now or will increase. Nobody can predict that right now. Every 2 to 3 years there's a churn. Roles get modified, new technology, new skill set. That demand and supply is becoming very dynamic. So it's very difficult to predict as to what roles to look at a future. You need to see what roles can you use your skill set right now, what you can get into currently. That is what you need to focus on.
Okay, thank you so much, Sajid. So, and apart from this, I have one more question. Being a newcomer to Canada, are there any resources that newcomers can access to gather some information around the opportunities in Canada? It's not just around the job search, but something that will help us, navigate through these changes and build a promising career and good life here.
Um, okay, so Sajid, you want to take it on? You're on mute, Sajid. So yeah, so Sharath, the best thing would be like meetups. Okay, so there is nothing like a document which will guide you in Canada, because everyone's personal perspective is totally different, right? A lot of people, when they came to Canada from US, a lot of people liked it. A lot of people didn't like it, then they went back to the US. So each person's personal perspective is totally different, and they have their personal issues. A lot of people want to settle down here. A lot of people just wanted to survive for 5 years. So there is nothing as such a document or anything where we can say that okay, this is the best way to navigate in Canada. But at the same time, when you speak to multiple people, you will hear multiple perspectives of each of their stories, and that will actually guide you in making a better decision. I would that would be my like advice.
Exactly. You speak to not only within the same domain, people with multiple domains will give you a broader clarity as to what you can get into or what skill sets, your previous skills you can use.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even I experienced it personally because the people who I'm interacting with, and if I look at their profile, I can understand that there's a huge difference in their career pathway. Whatever they are doing right now is entirely different from what they studied or what they did back in their home country. So I feel like the ground reality is people take up whatever comes their way, and they excel in it later. So that seems to be a trend here in the job market. Only few lucky ones would get an opportunity to stay in the same domain. So that was the reason why I was trying to understand. Since I'm a newcomer, is there any specific domain which seems promising for the future, so that I can probably focus on that? But I understood. Thank you so
Okay.
much for your
Thanks,
advices.
Sharat.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, guys, I know like there are 15 people raised hand to ask questions, but unfortunately, we are over time now. Okay, we had a hard stop at 10 and a buffer of 10 minutes, so it's almost 10 minutes. But we will have a continued session for this. I'll set up some time, and we will have. This is more engaging, right? We can actually have it in Twitter if everyone is okay. That is actually a much more unofficial way to chat.
Yeah. So
So
the
yeah,
one
so
suggestion is, if you have any pertaining questions, I would suggest you can ask it in this particular event comment section. Me and Sudhir, whenever you have time during the weekend or otherwise, we will try to answer that specific question. So if you have a specific question you were not able to ask, please add it in the comment section here. We'll try to address that also.
correct. Or else join our WhatsApp group. We'll be happy to add you in the WhatsApp group. Join, ask in the group, and we'll be happy to share, and so that others will also get benefit out of it. Okay. So thanks guys, and thanks for listening in, and we will have a continued session for this, and that time I'm inviting somebody else also. We'll invite Jimmy Sajid, so that he can also share the perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks guys. So have a good night, and don't worry about the jobs. It's just the first time, which is difficult, and second time onwards it should be pretty good. Okay, have a good night everyone.
Good
Bye.
night.
Good night, Sajid. Thank you.